Man, that is carbon tracking if I have ever seen carbon tracking. And this is why you never leave a piece of vintage gear plugged in unattended. Never. Okay. Got it? Here's a little bit of a unique one. It's just a vacuum tube AM/FM table radio, but it's an ELECTROHOME STEREOPHONIC, and it does not have the stereo option. I'm going to attempt to repair it. I believe the only problem is the dial cord is broken, which can be more challenging than rewinding an IF transformer in some sets. Here's the interesting part. Made in Canada. Notice the square head screws that Canada loves so much. I believe they're called Richardson. So it does not have the multiplex decoder in it. You would have to have that. Kitchener. Swedish walnut. And more of these square head screws. I believe it works and was being used when the dial cord broke. Made in Canada. This is not something we see very often. In fact, I think this might be the first for me. I want to get this open. You know, in general, the wider general public, two generals there, don't know anything about leaking capacitors, destroying tubes, or blowing up, or destroying equipment. In general, most people, if they find an old radio or something, they plug it in and it works, they'll just use it. Who makes this? Rogers? Made in Great Britain. So let's look this over. Wonder if these get silver mica disease. Okay. You got to be very, very careful with a dial cord. It's just very loose. Well, I guess this is why it survived so well. It's all disc capacitors. Except that one right there, that yellow one, but the whole rest of it is all disc capacitors. No paper. So here we go with the broken dial cord, but where is it broken? What's broken right here? And already I'm looking at this and it doesn't make any sense. See, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 turns there. And then it comes to right here. But how does it turn the right angle to go up on top of this? What am I missing here? So it's obvious this one comes and goes to the bottom, but how does the one come off the top unless it loops around here like this and then goes back to this one? Something's missing here. Oh wait, here it is. Clear back here. So it comes clear back here and makes a loop and then reverses and goes up to here. Okay, IQ puzzle challenge solved. Dial cord is sold on eBay. It's not that expensive. And it's measured in either tenths of a millimeter or thousandths of an inch. I don't have a metric micrometer or set of calipers. This is measuring about 25 thousandths of an inch. So I'm going to order the 25 thousandths. You see, here's 25. Here's 40 thousandths. Here's 144 thousandths. 144. That's huge. There's 32 thousandths. So you gotta kind of know what size you're going with. So we're gonna go with 25. Got our new dial cord here. It's a little bit smaller, and it's not round. It's like flat, but maybe that'll change once there's tension on it. This is using little metal crimps. And what I often do is I'll take a crimp connector, like for 22 or 30 gauge wire, and I'll use the end that you crimp on the wire. I'll cut the actual connector off and just use the little barrel instead of trying to tie knots. So let me get going on this and see what I can do. I hope this stuff's not too small. I probably should have gone up a size. And this is what I mean. I take one of these and I cut the little metal tube off of it, and then I crimp it over the string just like that. It's a lot easier than trying to tie a knot. Well, I flubbed a boner here. I cut it too short. I don't know what I was thinking when I put it on. I went around this way with it. Oh, I couldn't have gone around that. I don't know what I did. Have to try this again in the morning. Okay, got it. And what I did differently this time is I took the old broken piece of dial cord and I taped it together, and then I measured it up to the new piece to make sure I was, I should have done that the first time through, but that's what I did. This is the old broken piece. And you can see someone had been tying knots in this as it stretched over time. One end of it. Yeah, this end, you can see they'd been tying knots in it to take up the slack as it aged and stretched. But this is good. It's plenty tight. And I can still move the spring up another step. So I got a piece of Teflon wire there as a shield. Teflon tubing off an oxygen sensor wire. So yeah, I got this. As it stretches and ages, this will pull up the slack. So I think we should try it out and see if it works. Probably should have started there from the beginning. Okay, here we go. Power is applied. How do you turn it on here? There we go. Well, one of the dial lights works. Maybe we should try and change the other one if I have a bulb for it. Vacuum bulbs are lighting up. I got the speakers connected. Ooh. The hell is going on there? Okay. Alrighty then. What the hell was burning here? Turned it back on. I mean, I'm assuming it. I was told it worked. Is that carbon tracking right there? Maybe I should have... Wow, that stinks. Maybe I should have tried this before I... Where are the rivets that hold that in? That is the rectifier. I don't think I have ever seen a tube socket that carbon tracked like that. That is a first for me. Where are the... Oh, there are the rivets right there. Okay. I'm tripping off this. I've never seen that before. Not even in the damn RCA color sets have I seen a tube socket do that. I've seen circuit boards do that, but never a tube socket. Well, here we go again. Let's fire it up without that tube in it. Okay. Power has been applied. Look at that. Man, that is carbon tracking if I have ever seen carbon tracking. And this is why you never leave a piece of vintage gear plugged in unattended. Never. Okay. Got it? Now I'm gonna be screamed at for the stench. So this tube socket's gonna have to be changed. But what I want to do is cut it out of the circuit and see if the radio works, because that's one of the two output tubes. So I'm just gonna snip those leads off after I take pictures. Actually, it doesn't look like it's taking much. It's so damn burnt that it's just pulling apart. So let me clean this up. We'll try it again. Look at this. Everything ELECTROHOME made had names instead of model numbers. So this was the Manhattan. I don't have any of the MHF series, so I need to go back to working on this stuff outside, because I'm going to have to take a break from it until this smoke clears out of this room, because this is nasty. I'd really, at this point, I want to see this thing work before I go any further with it, because this, yeah, I need to see that. And it's no problem to replace that tube socket. I'm going to have to drill out the rivets, find something that'll fit in there. Okay, room has aired out. Tube socket has been deleted. or the wires was carbon tracking have been deleted. I would like to see this thing sing before I change that tube socket. Warming up.
Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still?
Okay. Where's AM? Stand by. So it goes AM. No AM, huh? Silver mica disease.
The reason why we talk about these things is because a healthy 60 to 65-year-old couple has a 50% chance of them is going to live to age 92 or longer.
I am going to be passing that on to my daughter.
Very quiet. Telefonica.
Use budget in your mind.
I honestly.
So it gets KNX fairly well, but it's real quiet. That could be silver mica disease.
Would you sound better? Weekend long, we'll give away 4-packs. Tell us wildfires.
Now, agree on if he gets it. Advice sponsored by Irvine Auto Center, Ricksman.
In Inglewood, still waiting on it to pull away an SUV that's sitting in the middle lane on the 105 West before the 405. That's still slowing down from just before.
Well, it works. FM works. Yeah, silver mica disease. Now it's working perfect.
This is the Greg O'Donnell Financial Hour. I am your host today, Jonathan Richardson. And folks, live radio. Apparently, I just went dead. So I didn't.
Yep. Silver mica disease.
What's keeping you from your financial dreams? What's keeping you from getting in the markets? You know, with a lot of people said, hey, you know, when Joe Biden did, I was out of the markets, you know. I haven't got back in. There's other people that say, hey, once Trump went out and all the tariffs are happening, when they cash. Okay, when are you going to jump back in? I'd love to hear your perspective. Okay, let's learn together. 866-496-2300. That's 866-496-2300. Why? Why do we do that? You know, when? I think another thing. When do we do that? You know, you've been told your entire life, fund your 401k, your 403, all the retirement account. Put money away, but that tax bill at the end, they don't tell you when you enter the workforce how just hack
and I make the...
Mercado financiero.
Clearance going on all month long.
No quedaba embarazada fue cuando le dijeron que tenía un kit de y embarazada.
See, it's a stacked IF. So if the capacitor in the AM is not making good contact, the FM sensitivity will go away because they're stacked on top of each other. Seems like it's mostly this one. I'll look underneath, but I think it's in the can. So this is the one right here, right? So we should be able to prove that just by bypassing this thing.
Want someone you can trust to handle the case.
So yeah, this IF can, the capacitors are not making good contact inside. Yep, this IF can. I don't know, it seems like both of them or all of them are starting to get flaky inside, and I don't really feel like doing a complete silver mica restoration on this. That's a whole day's worth of work. And I would sort of probably need the schematic to do that. I could do it without it, but it would be tough. But definitely the two AMs, and they're affecting the two FMs.
Does nothing. If you just want to sell it, you don't want to have an open house, you don't want to deal with anything, you want a cash offer.
Don't try doing this without... These are really, really thick gloves. They have a dielectric of about 2,000 volts. There's several hundred volts in here. If I was doing this without gloves, I would be crying right now because my fingers would be smoking.
If you're a veteran, a first responder, I got a call the other day from a first responder and a fireman. I said, isn't there any loans for firemen? This is the time. He's interested in my duplex in Culver City. I'm going to do everything I can to help him. If you
know, now that I've been moving it, it's not misbehaving because I've been wiggling it around and, you know, making the connection better. I think I'm going to leave that and do the tube socket. And you can see what I mean by they're stacked, AM and FM. This is probably the AM. So what we would need to do is recap that. Replacing this burnt socket with a ceramic socket. This should not carbon track. Okay, we have a new ceramic tube socket installed, or new old stock. I think it's a lot better than whatever this was, whatever kind of cheap cardboard crap this was. Became conductive. Okay. And in goes our... I cleaned the pins all off with a wire brush. I put some cleaner in the socket. Boy, it's nice and tight. Wow. Yeah, these are loose compared to this one.
That little echo in the mic, Josh. Plenty of time for your calls, lots of great stuff to give away. Busy show. I usually do. Is your basset looking a little blue? Are your felines behaving a bit flaky? Does your schnauzer have you totally stumped? Well, if you love and adore your dogs and cats, I know you do, and really want to take the time to get inside your dog or cat's head and understand their behavior as well as they understand yours, and take it from me, they do understand yours.
Looks good. These audio output tubes are 6 GW8s, and they sort of look like 6 BM8s, where they have like a little triode and then the output section. They're a multi-section tube. See the little triode down there? Look at the price of these things. $95 for 2, $40 for 1, $60 for 1, $129 for 2, $30, $45. These are not cheap tubes. Wow. I replaced the other bulb, just the number 47.
Displaced families who have fled their homes and much more. You can be that. In a ruling, the judge said the Trump administration failed to provide information about
Mr. What kind of car you in the city lemonade?
Floyd style. You're welcome.
Hey, that's mine. Hey, what all that fake? Hey, ain't the one to play with.
And now,
leaving Orange County and into San Diego County.
or the Bible and the Catechism. I mean, what?
The number one.
Veracruz en el famoso. Unbest.
Rich 101.
This is not going to set any records as a DXer.
You have to manipulate the
Technology.
So we have to be that way.
We do. Okay. I am going to put some Varathane hardwood floor finish on this, because it's what I've got. This is not in great shape, and this sits in a sunny area, so I'm just going to sand it a little bit. It's trashed. It needs new veneer on it. Yeah, I sanded it off a little bit. I'm going to just put a quick coat of this on it. Ooh, contains aluminum oxide. Is it deodorant? What is it? Some brain-killing, Alzheimer-enhancing something. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's definitely sealed now, and that stuff, that floor finish is super, super durable. The sun won't kill it, walking on it won't kill it, setting drinks on it won't kill it. It really needs new veneer, though. Look at that. But at least it'll be sealed and it won't be jagged and poking you and giving you splinters. All right, well, there it is, finished.